Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be the Distillery reading for the month of February 2021. What's going on, guys? General Collective, how are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are in the world. Please be safe, happy, healthy, secure, all that good stuff. When you can, make good choices, treat yourself nice, treat people that you know and love nicely, and of course, extend that to a stranger or two. That is always my general wish for the collective and for specific signs as I do work here on the channel. Anyway, guys, if you've never been to my channel before, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. If you're unfamiliar with this type of reading, I'll just quickly go over what you're going to see here. I previously recorded 24 videos for each of the zodiac signs, overall monthly for February, as well as a mid-monthly. And out of those readings, I tabulate which cards appear most often. That's what's on the top line here. Those are in this month, 4 cards came out. So the 4 most repeating cards, and then the second most after that, we're going to get some distilled messages out of February. What was going on in February? What are some of the takeaways that you or anyone else in the general collective might be able to glean some insight from, some knowledge from, some retrospect from, what have you, okay? So those are the most appearing. We're going to clarify with the second most appearing, which was a total of 15 cards, again, across the 24 videos. And then we're going to use the third deck to give a little bit more clarity. That's the word I want. I don't know why emphasis came out, but a little bit more clarity with the Cosmic Tarot deck, okay? So that's what it is. Anything you want from me, guys, it's in the description box. If you're interested in getting a personal with me, I appreciate that. The information is down below. If you want the timestamp, it is down there as well. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, probably going to start reusing that or reprioritizing that, I suppose, in March. So if you want to follow me on there, there's a link for that down below as well, okay? So these are the 4 most cards across the entire collective of 24 videos that I did last month for you guys. And so I don't know what order they're in. I picked these out like 2 days ago. I set them aside. I don't even acknowledge truly what they are, so I don't know what these 4 cards are. I really don't remember. But let's see which order they're going to come out on the table, and then we're going to get like a baseline. So what was the most impactful I suppose story or elements that existed in February for the collective? Let's see what was going on for everybody. And if it doesn't resonate, that's okay, you know. It's just a different type of reading that I started doing, and I kind of like doing it. And if you're interested, or if you find this useful, helpful, you like looking back and kind of, you know, reviewing, let me know in the comments, okay? Let's see what was going on in February for the collective. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm like sitting here like, why doesn't this feel right? Because I think I previously shuffled these on the table. I think that's right. Yes, okay. So shuffle these around a bit down here. I was like, that doesn't feel right for some reason. I wasn't able to fully get a feel for which way they're supposed to be. Something like this. Yeah? Okay. So that feels better. Yes, they like this. Okay, so let's see what was going on. 3 of Pentacles, Hanged Man, 7 of Wands, and the 9 of Swords. Okay, so for many of you, this could have been like a lot of stress or a lot of anxiety about work. 3 of Pentacles, Hanged Man, 7 of Wands, and the 9 of Swords. You could be in partnership with 1 or more people. They have been, or you have been kind of hung up with something, delayed in some type of way, which causes other people to either, you know, get on their hind legs and act defensive, and or stress and anxiety out of the 9 of Swords. Let's see what else we get here. If it's not work, for some of you this is not work, this is like family, and it's a similar thing where you're in close contact with family members or friends. You have to spend considerable time with them, money, energy, effort, things in the physical world, with being that this is Pentacles. So you have some type of investment with 1 or more persons, right? And it's a little daunting. Someone feels daunted. Someone feels overwhelmed with this Hangman, and possibly also with the 7 of Wands right next to it. So it could be you, viewer, could be someone else you're dealing with. And just the entire situation is screaming out stress, 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 and trying to make something work in some of your cases where maybe it's not meant to work, because the hangman is also a gradual energy or a graduation energy, a maturing energy. It's an awakening energy. So there could be something that's on the books, on the record, something that we've been concentrated on for a while, obligated to in a contract, obligated to because of a verbal agreement, obligated to, again, because some of you, this is a family relationship or a friendship situation, connection, right? So there's this idea of being dialed into and committed to or focused on what we've already laid plans for. And then there might be along the way here someone who possibly gets cold feet. They start to second guess themselves, second guess the situation. They don't feel the same like they used to about it, or they're just, they or you or whoever is just changing in some type of way, or they are resistant. There's a little bit, for some, in some of those cases, the person would be resistant to the changes that are requested out of the working relationship, out of the previous commitment that they have. Like, we've been in business for 5 years, but now because of everything that happened in 2020 with COVID, we're going to have to make certain changes as somebody is like a little bit slow on the uptake. Like, why can't we just do it the same way we did yesterday? Well, we weren't living in a pandemic, 2 years ago. Now that we are, and we're dealing with the fallout of that, certain things have to change. Certain things have to be augmented. And there's someone who might struggle with that changeover, right? Or again, it's like a change of heart where somebody just is not really, they're not in it the way they used to be. And maybe it is because of the pandemic. Maybe it is because of COVID. I don't know all of your lives clearly, but maybe one or two of you know a person who contracted the virus and they became very ill, and now they are not able to really show up for work the way that they used to. If it's a business partnership, relationship, friendship, what have you. I'm not sensing too much love here, but I'm just, to play the odds, so to speak. For some of you, this could be a romantic situation. 3 of Pentacles that you contractually agreed into. Okay, so what is a marriage? In many cases, especially if you file for taxes and all that kind of stuff, it is a lawful exchange, right? So some of you, this is like a late addition, but I just want to put that out there, that even though I feel it's mostly work, mostly friends, mostly family, it could also still be a romantic overtone here for some of you, okay? Anyway, so this hangman, whoever it is, oh, and by the way, that's secondary major for Pisces, so you could be a Pisces or you could be dealing with a Pisces. Pisces could be strong in your chart, their chart, whoever's. But, take it with a grain of salt. It's still very much a general reading. So I think whatever this is, this hang up in the situation, whether it be strictly based on one person's experience, one person's ability or inability to do something, whether it be their own, cause or just, unfortunate circumstances that befell them, whatever. I feel like both sides to a certain degree become defensive or are in a defensive posture with the 7 of Wands right next to it. Okay. So standing your ground, not necessarily wanting to budge, not necessarily wanting to, in some cases now, they're very strongly, they're screaming at me. Somebody, in a few of your situations, someone doesn't want to take accountability for themselves or responsibility in whatever circumstance you're in with them, or it's you. Somebody's really trying to get off the hook for something. And in a few of your cases, that might involve law enforcement. That might be knocking on the door, trying to serve a warrant because someone's been, on the lam. You know what I mean? So something like that. That's not for everybody, clearly, but it's a little rough. This could be a little rough for some of you, it could turn kind of nasty. And that, again, regardless of how it falls out for you guys or how it did fall out, since we're talking, again, what happened in February. And that's interesting. Until this moment, I forgot that I was in the Distillery reading. So for some of you, this will continue on into March. It's not going to wrap up with a bow by March 1st, right? So for some of you, this is ongoing, I think is the point of me noticing that at this moment. For others of you, this is, done. And this is, again, just a reflection, or excuse me, a retrospect on what did happen. But yeah, so it's a little rough. That 7 of Wands is really it's disturbing my solar plexus a little bit. I gotta be honest. It's making me feel not nauseated, but Like my tummy's a little tickly for some reason, you know? It's very strange. Nine of Swords on the end. Again, stress and anxiety in the situation. Someone might have sleepless nights and insomnia, things like that. Pressure. And the word they're giving me is pressure. So it could be, in some people's case, that someone being hung up, someone being sort of out to lunch with the hangman, and or being extremely defensive, not taking responsibility, not, standing for account or to account. That could put someone in a pressurized state where they have to sort of fill in the gaps. They kind of have to carry, like, it puts a lot of weight on somebody else's shoulders. And in some of your cases, like, this is literally a person is gone. Again, for some of you, like, an arrest happens. For some of you, the person is severely depressed. They don't show up for work anymore. They're in a really dark place, and that has another person filling the gaps. And it trickles back to the connection with this person. Like, I don't know how to help them. I don't know how to rescue them. I don't know how to get them out of whatever state they're in. I don't know. Like, someone feels really helpless here with the Nine of Swords, okay? So that's the baseline of what happened for not all of you, but several of you in February. Again, it still could be going on in March. Time is very fluid. All of your timelines are not going to be exactly in step with the next. So let's just go ahead and clarify a little bit more. I think we're going to do it in between each. So I think we're going to go for 3. And let's just get some more information on what happened here for the collective in February. Let's give me some more information here. What else was, well, we're not going to take all of those because nope. But what else is a part of the takeaway here for the collective out of February 2021? And again, this is based off of the previous readings. If you didn't see any of those, check your playlist according to your zodiac sign. Cross-watch if you want. I don't discourage that. Just don't make it a big old habit, I suppose. What else can we do? What else can we see as the takeaway for February for the collective? Show me. What else is part of the takeaway in February for the collective? Show me. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to look at these. They're done. So, the Devil, okay? 10 of Wands and Justice. Wow. All right. So for some of you, it definitely is a legal situation. Devil, Major Arcana for Capricorn, could be dealing with a Capricorn. You don't have to be, okay? 10 of Wands, general, we'll talk about it. Stress and burden, being overwhelmed. And then the Justice card, Major Arcana for Libra, could be dealing with a Libra. You don't have to be. All right. So in some of your cases, they really want me to jump on this Justice energy real quick. For some of you, this could be about a divorce or separation, and it could be leading to a court situation or something to do with like legality. And I feel like, what was that? It was like, for some of you, this is about like assets, dividing property, deciding on alimony, deciding on child support and things like that. And it's like not being fairly divvied up because someone's playing hardball or somebody's like fibbing. They're not telling the full truth. They're not being open. Because when we have the Seven of Wands, it's a closed off energy. It's defensive, right? So somebody's not like, somebody is possibly not declaring things openly. They're not, saying what the assets are properly in order to, lower the amount of alimony. They're putting, like, they're signing things off and putting property into other people's names to avoid taxation, to avoid whatever. There's like, in some of your cases, some like really shiesty moving of pieces in order to undermine the justice system, and more cosmically speaking, more karmically speaking, to try and undermine the universe, undermine this shift and this change and this, speed bump in the path of life that someone is experiencing. They don't want to lose face. They don't want to lose power, money, status. They don't want to lose anything, right? And again, that's just for a few of you, where someone is in a legal sense, in a courtroom or something like that, fighting dirty. I may have mentioned that in one of the zodiac readings, but don't quote me because I don't remember a lot of the things that happen when I record these things. So that's like something initial that they wanted me to address here. We might come back to it, but that, again, it doesn't apply to even half of you, most likely. But in total, with the further clarification, I did mention this word karma. I feel it is definitely playing off of both of these, the justice and the devil energy. Some of you, this is like a big life lesson that you or someone else is going through, and they're not really coping well with it. Is what's the grand takeaway here, is someone's not really coping well with the changes, transformations, or the demands, the demands of their life, the demands of, God or the universe, the demands of other people in the situation. It's like demand is coming from the devil. It's like feeling that you must do and you don't want to do, or you don't know how to do. And that plays on several different levels. So again, going back to the Three of Pentacles, someone has a contractual obligation to a business partner, to a husband, to a wife, to a family, whatever. There's like this idea of feeling obligated and feeling capable or incapable, who knows? And then there's also this feeling of having a contract or having a bond with your spiritual path, your spiritual life. I feel that's mostly coming in this triangulation, Devil, Hanged, and Ten of Wands. Feeling burdened and overwhelmed at the prospect of, man, I'm in the middle of an awakening, or that person is, or whatever, or this is a shift in my spiritual journey, and I'm not ready to shift, or it's not a shift that I anticipated, and because I didn't anticipate it, I don't know what else. It's just like this. The weight of it is very pressing. And how to alleviate that pressure, how to get rid of the weight, how to, in some cases, get rid of guilt, feelings of shame and embarrassment that trickle back to this more earthly, coming from the Three of Pentacles, this more earthly 3D bound concept of it. Like, okay, I have a job or a business and I love my business, but there's something unfulfilling about it. But this is the business that supports me and my family. I can't abandon my business, because if I do, then that trickles down and it affects me. It affects my family. And that would then be in turn abandoning my family. But there's something here where someone is like struggling with how to traverse this terrain, how to get away from this feeling of pressure and obligation and all these other things that aren't necessarily quote unquote bad, but because they show up in this devil energy, we perceive them as bad. We perceive them as something that needs to be eradicated from our lives, and that's not the case. You can't eradicate the devil. You can't eradicate anything really that comes in a tarot, because it's whatever. I'm not going to go into it. But you're meant to learn how to deal with these energies, deal with these personality types or these spiritual archetypes and things like that, okay? I hope that makes sense. That was sort of like a tangent. But, right. So this could be also a blockage, because again, the Hangman is meant to be sort of a wisening up, or opening up to those new perspectives, opening up to different ways of seeing our circumstances, seeing ourselves within our circumstances, etc., etc., etc. But lying on top of it, touching it, are two cards of block, are two cards that sometimes can be a withholding energy or a restraining energy. Let's say it that way, a restraining energy, where we feel like on a leash, or we feel there's like a certain parameter and we can't go past that parameter. We can't extend beyond certain boundaries. And that could be on purpose, because again, I use this word karmic, as I feel the devil and the justice card are linking to that, or at least pointing to that. And that could be karmic because, think of it this way, or this is the way it's kind of feeling to me. It's like someone here, or the entire situation, or several people here, are in a certain type of pressure cooker. Now, what is a pressure cooker? It's a device that we put in our kitchens, put some meat in there, put some veg in there, do whatever, seal it shut, and then for hours, this meal is being inundated, pressurized, heated up. It is in an intense environment But out of that intense environment, high heat, long hours, spent, slowly becoming this tasty meal. Like, inside, it's effing hot. This is a pressure cooker. It's hot in here. It's not pleasant for most people involved. But on the other side is likely, I'm not going to say it's going to be a quote unquote tasty meal, but there is a product. There is an outcome. This is the method to get to the outcome. Now, that's not me trying to say you or anyone else should just suck it up or that it's easy. Absolutely not. This isn't easy, but this is the method. And that is, sort of the calling card, sort of the hallmark of the universe, of any karmic undertaking that you have in life, whether it be your individual karmic path or what you share with other people. Sometimes we are in this world and we share karmic, I suppose, how can I say it? There's like little plot points or little intersections in our different pathways where you and another person, you intersect, even though you're going this way and they're eventually going to go that way. But the intersection, that's where you guys kind of square off and you kind of settle something karmically. Whether or not you've known that person a long time, a short time, you know them passively, you know them directly, it doesn't really matter. The point is, the pressure that you're feeling is possibly because you do have obligation and connection with a soulmate or someone in your soul story, your soul tribe, what have you, right? And how to navigate all of this is very murky. It's very... It's kind of dark and heavy, And someone isn't necessarily it's not much to enjoy, but someone's not really coping well with that. Now, if you're watching this, it could be you. I gotta be fair. It could be you. But in many of your cases, this is another person that you're dealing with who's having the worst time of it. You might be alongside them, but you're not struggling in this way, or you're not feeling the pressure cooker environment that I was describing a moment ago. Like, think about it again this way. Like I said, in a pressure cooker, you put meat, you put veg. The meat takes a long time, and that's like the part where it's got to be like savory and it's got to be full of flavor and everything like that. And no offense to you, I'm not trying to call you this as a person. I'm not saying this is your personality or something, but maybe in that pot you're the potatoes, or you're the carrots, or you're the celery, or you're the peas, or the carrot, whatever. You're not gonna take as long to cook through to be ready for serving as the meat portion. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If you don't cook, if you're like microwave Larry over there, I don't know what to tell you. But like, that's what I mean. So someone here might be taking longer, or the temperature at which they have to be exposed is higher than yours. Does that, I hope that makes sense. So let's just clarify a little bit more with the Cosmic Tarot, and then we're going to wrap up. So give me some further information in this situation for the collective coming out of February. Further information about this distilled situation. What else can we talk about here today? What are the additional messages here? Or maybe I want to know what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't watch my stuff back, so I don't really remember what I do at this point in the reading. Do I ask for what happens in the future? Am I allowed to do that? It's my reading. I can do what I want. But I don't know. I'm feeling like being led to talk about, well, what happens now that we know this? What else or what happens next? So maybe that's what we should ask. What happens next? What's upcoming out of this situation? Let's do that. What happens next? What is upcoming in this situation that we've discussed today regarding the distilled message from February? What happens next? What is upcoming in this situation? Show me. Bridge. Yes. Okay. Okay, just two. Got it. Oh, that feels interesting. I don't know what that was. All right, what else is upcoming here, or what's up next? What's forthcoming out of this situation for the collective? Let's get at least two, please. One more. One more, okay. maybe not one more. Maybe they're like, nah, that's good. Hold on, let's double check. Let's see. Any further messages? Okay, they're like, nah, you're good. It was me who was like, maybe 3? Because I like 3s. It's the magic number, right? All right, so first card was the Six of Swords in reverse and then the King of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, this is stuck city, gotta be honest. Six of Swords reverse, King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy with the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, could be dealing with Earth sign, don't have to be. Or you could be an Earth sign, but you don't have to be. Again, general collective. But this is stuck city, Six of Swords in reverse, not a lot of movement, not a lot of change in the situation or it's like someone is, their heart is gone. Their spirit is already preceding them or preceding. Yeah, preceding. It's like somebody's heart is already out of the situation, but their physical body, their mind is in the situation. So going back to what I said earlier about maybe some of you, this is a business relationship. You started it with your friend, you started it with your spouse or whoever, and their heart's just not in it anymore. They don't want it the way that you want it, or you don't want it the way they want it, whatever, you know, wherever you are in the story. And someone is sort of going through the motions, being dedicated and loyal to what they agreed to, because there is some type of high principle here based on that. Somebody really takes a lot of pride in being somebody who is a man or a woman of their word. Yeah? Somebody really, really doesn't want to let other people down, doesn't want to be seen as incompetent, incapable, doesn't want to be seen as a quitter, doesn't want to be seen as whatever. Okay? There's something about this person, you or them or someone else in the situation, whoever it is, they have a real concern about their public facing identity. Now that applies, again, if you have a business or you have some type of, you know, again, public facing persona. You know, it doesn't have to be that you're a business person. Could be, well, I mean, I guess if you were an actor or something, that's part of your business, is part of your brand, is to, you know, go out there and post on social media and, you know, be a part of like, you know, social media challenges and shit like that, you know. But there's someone here who's just like, their heart's not there, you know, their spirit's not there. Heart and spirit are almost entwined here. And again, could be because it's caught up in the pressure cooker, you know. Could be that it's going through some kind of gauntlet, going through some type of transformational process, some type of awakening process. Or somebody is fighting, 10 of Wands, 7 of Wands, justice, fighting for fairness, fighting for freedom. That's interesting for a few of you, somehow fighting for freedom. I mean, again, justice system. Again, I did mention, you know, got a warrant for your arrest type of shit, you know. So there's something here where there's a fight going on, and that's where the heart and the spirit are. We've got Wands here paired up with that justice energy. So that fight, or that energy to really show up and be passionate or be in line with what you've agreed to, it could be like separate. You know, there could be like someone who has okay, there we go. Let's think of it this way. And again, it could be legal troubles. If you have a business partner, you may or may not know that they're in trouble with the law, or they're in trouble with the IRS, or they're in trouble with whomever. You may or may not be aware of that. So they show up physically and mentally, because they don't want to be seen as a quitter. They don't want to be seen as incompetent, you know, foolish, somebody who reneges on agreements, da-da-da-da-da. Plus, especially in a business situation, they still want to get paid, okay? But on the back end, or somehow in their private life, or somewhere away from your eyes, away from your awareness, this person is engaged in some of your cases for the fight of their life. Because literally, some of them, their freedom is on the line. Right? You know, that's not for everybody, but the principle is still there, where this Six of Swords in reverse and this King of Pentacles as what to expect going forward, or what is, you know, further down the line in this situation. Somebody still is going to possibly even pay lip service, because the King of Pentacles, like in this deck particularly, he can look a little smarmy. Like, he can look a little smug. He can look like a little bit like, oh, nobody suspects a thing. Look at me. or don't look at me, you know, whatever way they want to spin it. So this guy or girl, it doesn't matter, could be quite clever, telling you what you want to hear or telling other people what they want to hear. Are you thinking of leaving us? Are you thinking of quitting the company? Are you thinking of changing location? Are you thinking of changing, doing, moving, da 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 da? And the answer on its face or from this person's mouth is no, I don't have plans to move. And that's true because there's a lot of shit going on in the pressure cooker, which we talked about. However, if the blockages are removed, Devil, Ten of Wands, even Justice, if this person finally gains a new perspective, whatever that perspective is, and they begin to drop their defenses, get over their anxiety, they're gonna go. Somebody here that applies two ways. Remember I told you about the pressure cooker and like making the meal. Once the timer goes ding, ding, you know, and the meal is ready, you serve it. So someone here is waiting to be served. Served by the cosmic forces that be, waiting for an opportunity. Could also trickle back to the Three of Pentacles. Could be looking for a new contract to get involved in, right? Looking for a new business opportunity to move towards, right? Whatever. So it's like this, once the pieces are in play and this person can be served, again, like coming out of the pressure cooker, being served on a platter, you know, that's when this Six of Swords, oh no, I'm good, I like it here, or I'm satisfied here, or I have no plans for the future really, everything's copacetic, everything's cool right now, this is going to turn upright, right? And the King of Pentacles, long-term goal setter is who we're talking about. This person in many of your cases is savvy. This person in many of your cases is very well aware of what it will take to be a success long term, or to see, they know how to get to where they want to go. And being that the King of Pentacles, Pentacles being the slowest element in the deck, strategy is definitely here. And also being able to adapt to a detour. Could be you. I don't know who this is. And this is not universal. This is not a guarantee that every person who is embodying this, no, everything's fine, I don't, you know, I don't have any plans to move on or change things up, right? This is not all of them. Some of them are cleverly saying that. Again, playing lip service. Because they know, well, I got all this BS going on over here, and it just wouldn't be the right time. It wouldn't be prudent. Wouldn't be prudent, okay, to do this right now. But once it's prudent, once I'm served, and I said this, it works two ways. Served is in like the serving of the food, which we've gone over, right? And served, maybe they're waiting for someone else to be served by the courts. Subpoenaed. You know, take it to court or serve the divorce papers in some of your cases, whatever. Once all of that, whatever needs to be served is happening, then this person, they might change their tune for some of you, not for all of you, okay? Guys, that is the reading, the Distillery reading for February 2021. If you found this reading helpful, if it resonated with you, if it gave you further clarity in your own situation, drop me a like. Let me know in the comments how it resonated. If you care to share your personal business on the internet, you may or may not want to do that. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well, okay? Again, guys, if you want to get at me for a personal reading, information is down in the description box, excuse me. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in March when I do this particular reading again, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. Take care.